3, 2, 1.
Good day everyone. Let me introduce first myself. I am Isabel Tolentino. I am the one who discussed about concentric circle. Concentric circles in nature. In geometry, the objects are said to be concentric if they share a common center, if they have the same center, like circles, spheres, regular polyhedra, regular polygons are concentric as they share the same center point. In Euclidean geometry, two circles that are concentric have the same center but always have different radii. So, when we say radii, it came from the Latin radius. It means ray, but also the spoke of a chariot wheel. So, radii or radius is a straight line in extending from the center of a circle or sphere to the circumference of surface. So, isa itong matuwid na linya na galing sa gitna hanggang sa surface ng isang circle. So, that is radii or radius. Concentric circle are circles with the same or common center. Parehas sila ng gitna. And the circles all share the same center but have different radii. As what I've said kanina, that radii is yung sukat ng laki is magkakaiba yung sukat ng laki ng isang bilog. The region between two concentric circles of different radii is called an annulus. Any two circles can be made concentric by inversion by picking the inversion center as one of the limiting points. So, annulus. The word annulus is borrowed from the Latin word annulus or annulus, meaning little ring. And always remember that annulus is a little ring in a simple word. Annulus is a little ring. So, I have an example of concentric circle. Ripples of a pond when something hits the surface of water. Why is that ripples of a pond is a concentric circle? Because if you throw a stone in a pond, you can create a concentric circle like this. And another one is chop onion. When you chop an onion, you can see a concentric circle like this. Examples of concentric in real life. A dartboard. A dartboard is like this. It has a concentric circle. It has the same center and it has two concentric circles joined by the spokes. And I have some notes for you to not to forget the topic. Concentric circles always have the same center. It always have the same center. In Tagalog, in Filipino, pareha sila ng gitna. The radius of two concentric circles is equals if both the circles lie on each other. The annulus is the region bounded by the two concentric circles. In other words, it is a little ring. And thank you for listening.
Good day, I am Itzelma Equizada. Our topic is tessellations. Tessellations, in Latin, the word tessera refers to a little stone cube. They were employed to create tessellata, mosaic pictures that were utilized to form flooring and tailings in Roman buildings. The phrase is now more specialized and it is now commonly used to refer to symmetrical graphics or tiles. typically in the form of animals and other life forms, that span the surface of a plane without overlapping or creating gaps. There are only three regular tessellations, these made up of squares, equilateral triangles, or regular hexagons. A tessellation is a tilling over a plane with one or more figures such that the figures fill the plane, with no overlaps and no gaps. Examples of a tessellation are a tile floor, a brick or block wall, a checker or a chessboard, and a fabric pattern.
Hi everyone, I am Mary Joy A. Plaza, and the math concept that is fully discussed in our assigned video is all about tessellation. A tessellation is also known as tiles. It is the process of covering flat surface with one or more geometric forms called tiles, with no overlaps or gaps. It is also a shape that repeats to make a pattern. Tessellations can be extended to higher dimensions and a wider range of geometries in mathematics. Examples of these are tiles on the floor, brick or block wall, or also known as hollow blocks, and a fabric pattern, or any pattern that is represented by squares, triangles, and hexagons. My insights about these mathematical truths or certainties is that tessellation produces many lines of symmetry, and tessellation can be found in all kinds and everyday things, like tiles on the floor, in wallpapers, in our clothes, in our things, and anywhere. Because tessellations repeats forever in all directions, and it is because the patterns can't have a unique points or lines if it only occur once.
Good day everyone. This topic is all about tessellation. What is tessellation? Tessellation is a shapes that repeats to form a pattern. Tessellation have three basic shapes: the triangle, the hexagon, and the square. Also, tessellation have rules: the translation, the rotation, and applied reflection. This concept is all about shapes or design that if you repeat it, you can form patterns that already exist in this world. Example: the floor, square pattern; the wall, rectangle and square pattern; the ceiling, octagonal and triangle. We can differentiate or we can form shape. It is because it is arranged in a special manner to get a pattern, and in every corner of a pattern meets at a point that is called vertex. Insights: tessellation is important because it is part of our life. Also, it is a mathematical truth that truly explains that math is the language of the universe. That's all. Thank you.
Good day, I'm Rajime Tostado from Section Alpha, Group 3. The math concept that is fully discussed in our assigned video is all about tessellation. The tessellation is also known as tiles. It is the process of covering flat surface with one or more geometric forms called tiles, with no overlaps or gaps. It is also a shape that repeats to make a pattern. Tessellation can be extended to higher dimensions and a wider range of geometries in mathematics. And there are three basic shapes in tessellation: the triangle, hexagon, and squares. Example of these are tiles on the floor, bricks or block wall, or also known as hollow blocks, and the fabric pattern or any pattern that is represented by squares, triangles, and hexagon. My insight about these mathematical truths or certainties is that tessellation produces main lines of symmetry, and tessellation can be found in all kinds in everyday things like tiles on the floor, in wallpaper, in our clothes, and anywhere. Because tessellation repeats forever in directions, and it is because the pattern can have unique points or lines if it only occurs once.
Good day, everyone. My name is Arnel Tipuig, and today I'm having a short discussion about tessellation. Tessellation is derived from the Greek word tessaris, which means four or four-cornered. A tessellation, also known as tiling, is a process of covering a flat surface with one or more geometric forms called tiles, with no overlaps or gaps. Tessellation can be extended to higher dimension and a wider range of geometries in mathematics. A periodic tiling has a pattern that repeats if the inner angle of regular polygons can be joined together to make 360-degree. They tessellate. Because a square has a 90-degree inner angle, four squares can be joined to produce 360-degree. There are only three regular tessellation: those made up of squares, equilateral triangles, or regular hexagons. The first is translation, which is a tessellation in which the shape repeats itself by moving or sliding. The second is rotation, which is the tessellation in which the object rotates or turns to repeat itself. The last one is reflection, which is a sort of tessellation in which the shape repeats by reflecting or flipping. And this type of tessellations has been employed until now, and we can see this type of patterns everywhere.
My name is Vicky Ternate from Section Alpha. The concept of the video our watch is all about what is tessellation. Shape that repeats to make pattern for the shape and to complete this pattern. And we have a three basic shape, tessellate, and they are triangles, hexagons, squares, and also we have three roles: translation, rotation, guide, reflection. A tessellation is created when the shape is repeated over and over again, covering a plane without any gaps or overlaps. Another word for a tessellation is a tiling.
Hello everyone, my name is Venus Terillo, first year technology in Socotec. For today, we'll discussing tessellation. So what is tessellation? A tessellation or tiling of the flat surface is covering of a plane using one or more geometric shapes called tiles with no overlaps and gaps. In mathematics, tessellations can be generalized to higher dimension and variety of geometries. Tessellation is a pattern created with the identical shape which, together with no gaps, regular polygons, tessellate if the interior angles can be added together to make 360 degree. So now there are only three types of regular tessellation. So they are equilateral triangle, square, and hexagon. So, and my insight is the conformity of thought to the laws of logic. In a particular, is a concept consistency in an inference fidelity in a proposition agreements with assumptions. It's important because tessellations have patterns from small sets of styles. They could be used for difference counting activities.
What math concept is fully discussed on your assigned video?
The math concept discussed throughout the video is about patterns and shape that are compatible or fit with no gaps, and this is called tessellation.
What is about this concept? Cite few more real-world cases or examples that would show concept.
It's all about patterns and shape that fit together with no gaps.
Like fish, repeats to make a patterns. What are your insights about these mathematical truths or certainties?
My views in mathematical facts are certainly state that the pattern is also visible when the shape are bound together.
Good day everyone, my name is Alvin Dayoy. Tonight, I'm going to discuss about tessellation. A tessellation or tiling of a flat surface is the covering of a plane using one or more geometric shape, called tiles with no overlaps and no gaps. In mathematics, tessellation can be generalized to higher dimension and a variety of geometries. A periodic tiling has a repeating pattern. Example of a tessellation. A tessellation are a tile in a floor, a brick or a block wall, a checker or a cheese board, and a fabric pattern. Square, hexagon, octagon. My insight about this mathematics. Mathematics and geometry, a tessellation is a tiling of a plane. Tiling are regular polygons, meaning that all of their sides have a equal length. Tessellation, there are also semi-regular tessellation that consist of two or more regular polygons. That's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, especially to you sir. I am Jolmi C. Chongson. BS Cream Alpha, the math concept is fully discussed in our assigned videos. It's all about tessellation. Tessellation is a decorate or cover with a pattern of repeated shapes, especially the polygons. Polygons that fit together closely without gaps or overlappings. There are three regular shapes that make up regular tessellations, which are triangles, hexagon, and square. To make a regular tessellations, the internal angles of the polygons has be a divisor of 360 degrees. Because the angle have to be added up to 360 degrees so it does not leave any gaps. And also, they have three rules: the translations, the rotations, and the glide reflections. Translations. The shapes repeats by moving or sliding. Also, the rotation that repeat by rotating or turning. And the last one is a glide reflection. There is no refractional symmetry, nor is there any irrational symmetry. Symmetry is one of the mathematical idea that can be emphasized through tessellation is symmetry. There are 17 ways that a pattern can be used to tile a flat surface or a wallpaper. So, tessellation is a pattern of shapes that fit perfectly together.
Hi everyone, I'm Kent Jarl Quijada, and the math concept that we'll discuss is tesselation. Tessellation is a process of art, tessellating a surface or a state of being tessellated, an argument of shape closely fitted together, especially of polygons in a repeated pattern without gaps or overlapping. Examples of tessellation are a tile in a floor, a brick or block wall, a checker of chessboard, a fabric pattern thus made of square, equilateral, triangles or regular hexagons. My insight about these mathematical truth or certainties: tessellation pattern produce many lines of symmetry and also used in art and architecture alike, providing covering for walls, pavements, and ceiling of many facilities. Tessellation can be found in many areas of life: art, architecture, hobbies, and many other areas. That's all. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Christian Dixon, and the math concept that fully discussed is tessellation. Tessellation is a process or art of tessellating a surface or the state of being tessellated, an arrangement of shapes closely fitted together, especially of polygons in a repeated pattern without gaps or overlapping. Examples of tessellation are tile in the floor, a brick or a block wall, a checker or a chessboard, and a fabric pattern. Those made up of squares, equilateral, triangles, or regular hexagons. My insight about these mathematical truth or certainties. Tesselation patterns produce many lines of symmetry and also used in art and architecture, alike providing coverings for walls, pavements, and ceilings of many facilities. Tesselation can be found in many areas of life, architecture, hobbies, and many other areas.
Hello everyone, I'm Rolando Ito by Junior from Section Alpha. Today I'm going to discuss about tessellation. It is a short discussion. A tessellation is created when a shape is repeated and over again, covering a plane without any gaps and overlaps. Tessellation are seen in the architecture field, where tessellation are used for basis of art like in our walls, in houses, and other kind of buildings. It will improve design and is nice to see. Tessellation form a class of patterns found in the nature, the arrays of hexagonal cells in a honeycomb or the diamond shape. Scales that pattern. Snake skin are natural example of tessellation patterns. Tessellation patterns produce many lines of symmetry. Colors could also be considered when looking for lines of symmetry. With young children, you could have the learn about tessellation with pattern block pieces of geometric figures, such as square, rhombus, triangle, hexagon, and rectangle. That's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I am Nicole Elvilia, and the math concept that is fully discussed in our assigned video is all about tessellation. A tessellation is a pattern of shapes that fit together perfectly without any gaps. Tessellation often refers to a pattern that included a repetition of one particular shape, such as repetition of squares in a checkerboard. But tessellation can be formed from multiple shapes. For example, a classic black and white soccer ball is an example that consists of two different shapes, hexagon and pentagon. A tessellation is a kind of mosaic. They're often seen on surfaces that have been covered in this style. Because floor and wall tiles are often designed to fit together perfectly without any overlap or gap. The resulting pattern can also refer to the act of tessellating. Forming such a pattern can be described as tessellated. Tessellation is sometimes spelled with one as tessellation. Example, the building was designed to look like a tessellation in the form of honeycomb pattern. This concept shows that mathematics is very useful in everyday life. Math can help us so many things that are important in our everyday life, like solving some problems, measuring distances, and decorating your home. My insight about these mathematical truths or certainties is mathematics is incredibly important in our lives. We use mathematical concepts as well as the skills we learn from doing math problems in every day. Mathematics govern everything around us, and without a good understanding of them, one can encounter significant difficulties in life. That's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone. My name is Rizaldi E. Salvacion. This is my discussion about tessellation. Tessellation is an arrangement of shapes closely fitted together, especially of polygons in a repeated pattern without gaps or overlapping. When we say polygons, a plane figure with at least 3 straight sides and angles, and typically 5 or more. There are 3 regular shapes that make up regular tessellation: the equilateral triangle, the square, and the regular hexagon. For example, a regular hexagon is used in the pattern of a honeycomb, the distinct structure of the honeybee. Tessellation is involved patterns and spatial reasoning measurements. Students can use different tiles to measure or identify the perimeter of a design. How many tiles must be used to make a shape?